Hi, I'm Daria Allen, here with Principal Roth, and we're here to discuss the school's new security system. Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks for asking. So I hear there are some new changes. What will be different?
So what's going to be different is I think the experience for a lot of people will be it'll be just a bit slower coming in, as a visitor to the school. So we have two doors that lock. There'll be a process to get through each. And we're also going to have one of our school security guards, Mr. Newfer primarily, will be at the front desk right in the main lobby.
So what happens when a visitor rings the buzzer? What's the process?
So when a visitor rings the buzzer, it's going to look really like it does at all of our elementary and middle schools. Through the buzzer, we're going to ask them who they are and what they're here for. We're going to say hello, of course. And then once we know who they are and what they're there for, we're going to look to see if they have an appointment or if they don't. And if they do, we'll bring them in through the first door. They'll sign in through our lobby guard system, which is that computer kiosk in the front lobby. That's where they get their visitor badge. They scan their ID. And then once they have that, we'll bring them through and we'll have have them taken to their appointment. If they don't have an appointment, then we'll check to see if who they want to see is available. And if they are not, then we will try to set up an appointment for a later time. And if they are available, then we'll, it might take a few minutes, but we'll make arrangements for them to come into the office.
Okay, so I see it's pretty important to have an appointment.
As much as you can, but we also realize that not everything in life happens when there's an appointment. So, we know if you're coming to the school that you took time out of your busy day, and so we're going to do our best to accommodate you.
So I hear that every person that enters the building needs to have a photo ID. Why is that?
So it's important for a couple reasons. We don't always think with high school students about making sure that the right person is picking you up, but it's still important to us, just like when you were in kindergarten. So we want to verify that if John Smith is your guardian, that it is truly John Smith who comes to pick you up. And secondly, the lobby guard system, that kiosk in the lobby, it also notifies us if anyone's coming in that perhaps, we just want to take some extra precautions with.
Okay, so what if a parent's just simply dropping off something for their child?
Great. So first, if it's good food, bring it to me. If not, they come, they buzz in, they'll say they're dropping something off, and Mr. Newfer or whoever else is at that desk will go, take the items, get the name, and then he will bring them to the main office. The parent won't even have to come all the way in the building.
Oh, that's good. So what if there is an emergency?
So emergencies do happen. And if, say, a parent came and really needed to see a child's counselor, and the counselor was unavailable and no other counselor was able to meet, an administrator will be happy to come and speak with the parent, see what we can do to help them in the moment, and then also help to plan for long term.
What if a student has early dismissal and is being picked up?
So if a student is getting picked up for an early dismissal, the parent, after they identify themselves and what they're there for, they come in between the two locked doors. And I should say that's probably the biggest notice parents will see is that they will spend more time in between those doors because it's a secure setting for us. Once you're in the lobby, it's easy to kind of sneak away. And I don't mean that like our parents are sneaky, but if you're there, it's easy for the counselor or the nurse or the administrator or the teacher who's meeting with you to come and find you and bring you to your appointment. If you are in early dismissal, we're going to have you wait there. We did put some chairs out there so you can sit comfortably. And then once the student comes down to the attendance office, the parent will be brought in just to sign the note. That way we can verify who they are, and then they can leave together.
Okay, so going back to the slower process, I'm a late entry student, and I'm asking this for late entry students. So will it be slower for us? Because sometimes I just want to go through those doors, get to class, and sometimes they be taking forever to open those doors.
So we are going to try to expedite that as quickly as possible. If you have a scheduled late start, your entry will really not change. What will change, I think, is we want to make sure that we're extra focused on, when there's 20 students coming in that have a late entry, sometimes it's easy for someone else to kind of hop in line with you guys and walk in, and we want to make sure that everyone who's coming in at that time is someone who's supposed to have that late start. And that was our reason for putting Mr. Newfer there. Miss Reed, who has always been at that desk, she does a million things. And so it's hard for her to be a full-time secretary and kind of be our first line of security. Mr. Newfer will be able to just be that first line of security. There might be a time or two where it takes an extra minute to open those doors, both for you or for a parent. And while we apologize for that, we also want you to know that that extra minute's worth it to us because it helps to keep you safe.
Okay, so usually when I enter the building, I don't need my ID. I literally just have to like sign my initials and just go about my day. Do I need to bring my ID now?
You do. So you should always have your ID.
Well, yeah, I just never have to pull it out. So now I have to pull it out.
You should, yes.
Okay.
And one thing that will be different for students who come late that's unscheduled, they will still have to buzz in and identify themselves. And if you have your ID, you'll show it, there's a camera in the intercom, and we'll verify who you are through that. If not, we're going to ask you a question or two to verify who you are. We don't want to take for granted if you say that you're a student that you are, because sometimes we get, people who show up that we will welcome into the building like graduates, but they need to go through the process. And if we just assume that they're a student, we don't want to make a mistake and let the wrong person in.
I find the question thing very interesting. Lastly, why the change?
I think, you guys you're amazing. You're precious gifts to us, right? And we need to do everything we can to make sure that you're safe. It's not out of, yes, we had an incident a couple weeks ago where we had a parent come into the building, not following our procedures. But to be honest, that kind of highlighted the fact that we needed to make some changes just to make sure that everyone is safe. We hate to think of schools as a place that we have to always think about safety, but in this day and age, it has to be our #1 priority. And if you're not safe, you can't learn. So we might slow people up just a little bit. It's not our intention. Our intention is just to make sure that you get to go home to your family at night, and I get to go home to mine.
Yeah, I know a lot of parents fear that with a lot of these past incidents. Now we have to worry about being in school because this world is just so crazy.
It's sad.
I know. But I'm glad that you care and that you want to make the school safer, so thank you for that.
No, thank you.
And also thank you for your time. I'm Derry Allen here with Principal Roth, and we discussed the school's new security system. Thank you for watching.